Hello, this is Majority Cousin 93, and yes, this is what I think it is. It is a Pretty Rhythm Rainbow Live episode 43 review. Now, considering that I did upload the episode 40 through 42 review just now, or just a little bit ago, I know I just wanted to put that up just sort of as like, hey, 3 weeks, I haven't reviewed an episode, but after watching episode 43, I couldn't help myself. I really couldn't. I couldn't wait until tomorrow or Sunday or even during the week. I had to do this now. So, again, not subbed, just fresh out of the water, fresh out of the woodwork. So I'm going to go off based of what I think happened, and just go off like what the picture showed. So basically, the episode starts off with a review of what's happened in the Winter White session so far, with Naru being in first, and Naru and Bell being in first, on Wakana being in second, which I still don't agree with, but again, it happened. And the third place is Ito and Otoha, who should have switched places with Anna Wakana in the positions, but regardless, after that, we see a scene with them congratulating Naru and Bell, saying how they did well, and then we hear the crowd go crazy, and that basically means that Rinne and June are performing. So what happens is their performance starts, and just the song changing different, not changing different tones and changing different speeds was just amazing. And the dance with them skating in different places, and June being on the left and Rinne being on the right, and the sort of sinister start to the song sort of laid out the woodwork to what would be, I don't know, like the swan song, I guess, for June and Rinne being separate, you know? So what happens is then they do a Prism Live. And the Prism Live consisted of a grand total of 11 jumps. 5 for each, and that final sixth. That's right, 11 Prism jumps in one Prism show. Now, that is quite insane in itself. If they were to do it together, 11 duo jumps, that would have been quite insane as well. But being able to do, like, separate Prism jumps, it sort of felt like that they were going against each other, and the sixth jump put that out there with them doing, I believe, the Shining Star Fantasia, which was them using their guitars. Yes, that's right. June has a guitar from Starn. Not a baton like last time, a guitar. And Rinne had her guitar come from wherever again. And basically what happens is then we see the scene where it's Rinne in the white dress, and June, who's supposed to be in the black dress, but has Rinne's body. Yeah. So that sort of confirms, I guess, that Rinne is Rinne. June is another Rinne. Yay. So they talk about how Rinne is sort of talking about how her and June need to get back to the prison world as soon as possible. And that Rinne says, if you stay any longer, your body's going to collapse on you. You've been here for long enough. And then June says, oh yeah, well, I know that you don't know the true Prism Sparkle because you haven't had a true love. And she's like, what? And then Rinne's like, oh yeah, then who's your love? And she says, Hijiri. Hijiri's my true love, and that nothing's going to change that, and this isn't fake, it's real. But then Rinne says, is it real? Do you really think it's real? She's like, yes, it does. And then we see the, in the background, it's sort of the moon. We see the moon, then the moon wanes, and then it fades, and then it comes, and then we see the sun go behind it, then it comes back. And then what happens is then we see the stars rise up from the Shining Star Fantasia, and then June says, oh, it appears that our time's up to talk. And then we come back to the real world. We see June and Rinne standing on the stage, everyone cheering, going crazy, stars everywhere, and Belle talking about June being her eternal rival. and all that. Like, she reprised her role. And then Naru, this is what shocked me. Naru said, Bell-chan. For a moment, I thought I sensed that there was 2 Rinnes. So, sorry about that. But, yeah. So there's 2, so Naru noticed that there were 2 Rinnes. So, Naru must have some, some inner type of thing where she's able to sense that. Where she's able to connect with Rinne and then sort of see that through her, maybe. But regardless, we then go into it that we see Hijiri, and he's sort of like, oh my gosh, like, this was insane, like, this is a Prism show, you know? And then what happens is we see June walking back after Naru hugs Rinne and says, oh yeah, like, welcome back. And then June goes into the backstage and falls on one knee. But as Hijiri comes, he's like, oh yeah, you alright, June? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, nothing worrying about me. And then, Hijiri goes on to say the competition for the Winter White session. No, for the, the Over the Rainbow session. What's the next session? Now, of course, June expected Hijiri to say, oh yeah, like, you're gonna win automatically. But, then he says, like, your show was amazing, you and Ibara Rinne. And that sort of set June, like, I guess she put her head down, because then Hijiri started naming all the people, Morizono Wakana, Takanashi Otaha, Renjo Jibel, Ayase Naru, Fukuhara there we go, I couldn't remember the name for some reason, and Suzuno Ito, and basically they're the competition for the Over the Rainbow session. Now what happens is then June's like, oh yeah, I guess I'm gonna retire for the night, and Hijiri's like, what? She's like, yeah, I'm just gonna retire for the night and everything, and like, I need to rest. Hijiri's like, are you alright? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. Alright, good night. And just walks away. Then what happens is once she walks out the door, she's trying to find Starn. Starn's no longer with her. And then she looks down at her hands, and it looks like her body's already breaking apart. As Rinne said, you need to get back to the prison world, or your body's going to break apart. Which it already is, seeing by the gloves sort of turning these cosmic tears in her outfit, in her gloves. So then we see Rinne, then Rinne goes back to Naru and all of them, everyone's happy. And then what happens is Starn comes back to her. What everyone's been expecting, or everyone's been waiting for, Starn comes back to Rinne. But at that point, Rinne faints. So then after that, we see everyone going after Rinne, like, everyone's scared about Rinne fainting. But then what happens is they all go out on stage because they have to be introduced as, like, the third, second, first place winners. And Hijiri then explains, like, oh yeah, the next session we're going to be doing is the Over the Rainbow session. And let's give another big round of applause for our winners, Amao June and Ibara Rinne. Everyone claps. Alright, so what happens after that is we then see, we see Bell and everyone, we see Bell in Norizuki's office. Norizuki says, oh yeah, you remember the bet, gives her a book about being the queen, and what happens after that is, she then gives it to Wakano to how to look at. They're all shocked, and then what happens after that is then Naru gives Belle a call saying you need to come to Prism Stone. Rinne woke. Rinne's then sitting in the chair. They wonder what happened. Rinne, Momo says Rinne called them all in. She summons all the pair friends together, combines them together into one, and that's how the episode ends. So yes, a very, 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 very interesting episode. If you did see it, then feel free to comment on what you thought of it, because I don't know if it was the best episode. It may have been the best episode in Pretty Rhythm history, just because of the 6 jumps, the story that was introduced, and what it's going to mean for the next 8 episodes in the series. So again, this has been a Pretty Rhythm Rainbow Live episode 43 review. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys later.